In the early 15th century, Austria was going through a tough time. Holy Communion wafers were often stolen. Because of this, church leaders usually kept the wafers in the sacristy, a safe place, to protect them. But in the year 1411, in the small town of Weiten, something happened that would change the history of faith in that area forever. A thief managed to get into the parish church in Weiten and steal a consecrated host. He hid it in his clothes and rode away on his horse. But on his way, what seemed like a hidden crime turned into a scene of wonder. While he was running away, the host fell to the ground. A few days later, a good woman named Scheck from Mannersdorf was passing by and saw something amazing. A bright light was shining in the grass, as if heaven itself had opened up over that spot. The woman came closer and found the host on the ground. It wasn't destroyed, but whole and glowing. But the most amazing thing was that it was split into two pieces, joined only by strands of bloody flesh. The news spread quickly. Farmers, nobles, and priests rushed to the spot to see the miraculous host with their own eyes. A small chapel was built right there, as a sign of thanks and respect. Soon, the devotion was so great that the church leaders said the miracle was real. Over time, the parish church in Weiten was made bigger to welcome thousands of pilgrims from all over Europe. The presence of the miraculous host changed the spiritual life of the community. Weiten-Raxendorf became a center of faith and hope. For centuries, whole generations came to honor the holy item. This miracle confirms what the saints have told us about how important the Eucharist is. Saint Francis of Assisi said, "Man should tremble, the world should shake, all of heaven should be moved when the Son of God becomes present on the altar." Saint Clare of Assisi said, "In the Eucharist we see the love with which God gives himself to us." Saint Padre Pio of Pietrelcina taught, "The world could go without the Son longer than it could without Holy Mass." And in our time, the young blessed Carlo Acutis, who gathered these miracles, invites us with his own words. "The Eucharist is my highway to heaven." Today, more than 600 years later, the memory of the miracle of Weiten-Raxendorf is still alive. The church and the chapel built where the discovery happened are places for prayer, remembrance, and faith. The miracle of Weiten-Raxendorf reminds us that Christ is truly present in the Eucharist. It's not just an empty symbol, but the Lord himself who stays with us. There, at every Mass, he gives us his body and blood as food for eternal life. Today, just like Carlo Acutis did, we are invited to find our faith in the Eucharist again. If this story has made your heart stronger, type the word faith in the comments. Subscribe and share this video so more people can know that Christ is alive and present among us.